Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clicks and Code, your go-to space for striving in Salesforce ecosystem. Today, we are kicking off on a very special edition that is striving during exam week. And it is also a wellness dialogue. I'm Etudo Kugo, a fellow learner in Salesforce program. And today, we are diving into something really special. That is staying mentally and physically fit as we approach the exam week. And today, someone special is joining me today. That is a former Salesforce alum, a former squad lead, and also a health professional, Chinasa. Hello, Chinasa, welcome.
Hi, Etudo. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to have you today. Please help us with your surname. I didn't want to pronounce it wrongly.
Philip Layton.
Oh, Philip Layton. Nice to see you. So it's so great to have you here. But before we dive into today's conversation, could you please help tell our listener a bit about yourself and also your tech journey?
Okay. Like I've said before, or like you have said, my name is Chinaza Philip Layton, a mother of one, a pharmacist by profession, and now transitioning into tech, Salesforce administration, and associate as well. Before I, ventured into Salesforce, I was actually looking for a tech, space where I could fit in without coding, since I do not have any background in tech. So when I found out about Salesforce, it ticked all the boxes, it checked out all the boxes, and I was excited because it also aligned with my healthcare expertise, as I'm able to, combine the both. So yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's really exciting to know. So right now, let's just address the big elephant in the room. That is exam anxiety. We are writing our exam in like another 2 weeks, and many learners are balancing work, life, study, and the pressure is real. So from your experience as an alum and a healthcare professional, what's your take on managing all this stress?
Okay, so exam anxiety is normal. It happens to the best of us. And especially when you have to juggle work, life, and studies, it's really taxing. However, the key to acknowledging that, okay, you have to, do this and that, you have to find a balance. We are not looking for perfection. We're just looking for a way whereby we can make do with what we have. So one strategy that, I've found that is helpful is, breaking down your study material, break it down into manageable chunks, so that you don't find it overwhelming, and the volume of information you have to take per time won't be too much for you. You can also practice mindfulness or meditation, taking in breath to calm yourself down. And with that, it would help you to remember that, see, it's life, it's a journey. Just enjoy the journey. Do not try to be perfect. Nobody is striving for perfection, but all we're trying to do is that we're all looking for ways to be a better version of ourselves. So while you are preparing for your exam and while the anxiety is hitting you hard, just remember that you are human. Take it easy, one day at a time, one step at a time, and we will all get there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I like that when you say one step at a time, because I also have my fair share during exam. I had stress and also anxiety, but something that helped me during my preparation was I prepare with my squad mate, and it was a game changer. So speaking of study, is there any effective way to retain all the information without feeling overwhelmed? When it comes to Salesforce ecosystem, you have a lot of information, you have a lot of things to study and also to remember for the exam. Is there a way for us not to feel overwhelmed?
Yeah. First and foremost, understand the the concept, right? If you understand the concept of what it is you are reading about or what it is you are preparing for, it would go a long way in helping you. And secondly, try to actively recall what you are reading, not just cramming, right? Yeah. And instead of, passively reading or highlighting, try to test yourself with materials around you. Try to, you can use flashcards. You can try or practice exam questions. You can even try teaching somebody, and it really helps. I tried it during our own time. I'm that kind of person that shies away from teaching people, but I tried it. Like, okay, you don't understand this. Okay, let me try it out. I tried to explain it to you. And I found out that while explaining to you, I got, it stuck to my head. I could never forget it because I've already passed it on to you, and trying to pass it on to you, I gained from it. So, like you said, sharing our reading with your squad mates. Try if group study also helps. Engage in group study as much as you can. And the last but not the least on my list is the Pomodoro technique. That's that you have to yes, you can sit down for 4 hours and read. But some of us who are we can't sit down for a long time to do something. You can do straight 25 minutes. Right? You do 25 minutes, you take 5 minutes break. You do another 25 minutes, you take another 5 minutes break. Before you know it, you are gaining something and you are making progress. So yeah, that's what I have. And sleep. Please sleep. Sleep will help. Sleep will help. Don't forget it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chinasa. That's really a game changer, So let's talk about something that is often being overlooked. That is, I know you mentioned sleeping well, our physical well-being. Is there any special food that learners need to eat? Is there any special drink that help cognition and focus? Because at the end, the end game is we want to pass this exam at our first sitting. So what is your take on that?
Okay. Yes, there are nutritions. Nutrition plays a huge role in helping our cognition, in helping our brain function. Foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acid, like your fish, like your walnuts, like your flaxseeds, right? They are very great for cognitive health. And you can also, in our place, we don't have the berries, but if you have the berries around you, you can also do that, right? Yeah. And one other thing, hydrate. Oh, that's very key. Please hydrate. Always hydrate. Yeah, if you are dehydrated, it can lead to fatigue, it can lead to brain fog. So please hydrate as much as you can. And while you are tempted to reach out for sugary things and caffeine, please taper down. It doesn't really help, right? What we're looking for is we're trying to make a progress and not diminish ourselves in the long run. So if you eat well, ensure that you eat. I have a friend that will tell you, please, before I start reading anything, I need to eat. Just eat. Don't go on empty stomach. Try and eat something. Try and eat fruits around you. Try and hydrate. Hydration is very important. See, the more you take water, the more you will understand why you need to hydrate. It helps your brain no matter what. Hydration is good. And less of caffeine. Yes, I understand that a lot of people have to do night routine to stay awake and be able to cover what they need to cover. But then there is also its own demerits about it. So please taper down on sugary things and caffeine. Then you can balance it with protein-rich foods, your eggs, your protein meats and all of that. So yeah, your nuts, they also help. Instead of your sugary items, you can go for nuts. It will help. Thank you.
So let's go straight into what we call, is there any top routine that learners need to adopt to stay very to stay focused during this period? Because sometimes, when you want to log into that exam, you need the right mindset. So is there any routine that we need to adopt during this period?
Well, I'll start with, you know yourself better than I do. Maybe what works for me wouldn't work for you, but this is what I can say on this. Burnout is real, right? And when you are trying, especially when you are pushing yourself to meet a deadline, especially when you are trying to, meet a target, burnout is real. So even as you are trying to prepare yourself for exam, try to schedule regular breaks. It will help. You can take a walk. You can just sit down and relax just for a few minutes, right? Take a nap. It would help. You see that when you set it as a goal and ensure that it's realistic for each study session that you want to do, and also ensure you celebrate the little wins. It's not until you get to the big ones. Maybe, okay, today I'm able to take a walk, 5 minutes walk, 10 minutes walk. Just start like that gradually. Before you know it, by the time you're entering your exam, once you have read, it's not when you do not read, you expect miracle. But if you have read, things would align itself. So, yeah. And don't neglect self-care. That's very important.
Okay, that makes so much sense, Chinasa. And, now we can now talk about what happened during exams, because most of our learners, not just our learners, based on experience, we all experience what we call mental blocks. There are some moments where the brain just goes blank. So is there any way we can handle this to avoid them going blank during that exam day?
Okay, so on the day before the exam, I would recommend a light review of your notes. As much as possible, avoid cramming if you can. Instead, focus on relaxing yourself. Yes, I know the tension is real, like, you have a lot to cover and all of that. You need to revise your work and all of that. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. It's not easy. I remember when we were about to write our own exam, it wasn't easy. I felt like there are a lot of things I need to, cover before the exam. However, I remember one thing my husband said. He said, calm down, go and sleep. When you wake up, you can now have a fresh you to face the exam. So that's what I'm telling you people now. Take it easy. You can relax, focus on relaxing yourself, because if you're not relaxed, you will forget everything. Forgetting something when you enter the exam happens to the best of us, so it's not a new thing. But then there's a way you can help. There's a way you can avoid mental block during exam, right? Just take a deep breath. By the time you start answering your questions, you would remember. Maybe by the time you have done the first, the second, and the third, you'll be able to remember. I hope I've answered that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chinasa. So even myself, you remind me when I was in college and high school, sometimes that happens to me. When you stay overnight to read because you want to do well during exam, but during the exam day, you just realize that all the things that you've read just disappeared from your head. But thank you for sharing that insightful knowledge with us. So how can learners stop this from derailing their thought? Sometimes because of we have so much anxiety and panic alerts in our mind. So is there a way that we can just control our mind so that we don't panic? Or is there any reassuring word?
Okay, it's normal to feel the rush or the panic. It's okay. But then if you have prepared, right? There's this thing that when you prepare for an exam, you go with confidence. And there's this one that when you are not really fully prepared for an exam, the anxiety, the panic is high. So if you're sure you have done what you need to do, just calm yourself. Like I said before, understanding the concept will help you. Sometimes when you get into the exam, what you would see is not what you read for, right? However, because you have read, because you try to understand one or two things while you are reading, do you get? When you start writing the exam, okay, let me give an example. While writing mine, the first 10 questions, I don't know where they came from. I've never seen it, never heard about it. Never read about it. I almost freaked out. I've almost freaked out. I even started crying because I was like, God, what's this now? Why are you doing this to me? You know, that kind of Nigerian way we would think that everything is about God. So, but then I told myself, calm down, took a deep breath, yeah? And by the time I was entering the 15th question, honestly, that was when I started finding my footing. Now, I try to also manage my time because by the time you're in that panic mood, you tend to forget. You tend not to even know that you're answering the wrong thing. So I just answered the ones I could answer. Then I got back to it again to try, and you don't have to rush out the exam. If the exam is 105 minutes or 120 minutes, sit down there, go through it over and over again. Ensure that you crossed your T's, dot your I, and you have done your part. Because once you click that submit, that's the end of the case. So I would, my take is calm down. Just take a deep breath, right? While you're sitting on that chair, looking at that computer, your heart is beating. Yes, it should beat because you are doing something for your life. So don't worry, everything will be fine. So that's my take. Remind yourself that since you have prepared for this, you are capable of handling it. And confidence always comes with preparation. So prepare. Once you are prepared, trust the work that you have put in. And the rest is history.
Thank you so much, Chinasa. I think the key word for me there is calm down, all will be well. So we are gradually coming to an end of this. And now it's been all the information that you've given us is just mine away. And we are all ready for this exam. But before we wrap it up, is there, because as a squad, what we do is that we study in squad, we have some past questions, we revise maybe 3 times in a week. And I want to confirm, are we doing the right thing? Is there a best way or tested, proven way that we can study more effectively apart from studying in groups, like 3 times in a week? That's the approach we are using now.
What you're doing is okay. You're doing what every one of us did. Doing past questions, as far as this pathway is concerned, is key. Sincerely, what saved most of us was past questions and revising after we finished doing the normal reading. So we went in revising, and it helped. So I think you guys are on the right track. Keep it up. Keep combining your reading with practice questions, group discussions, teaching materials to someone else, trying to reinforce what you understand, it will help you retain the information better. And I will keep saying it, focus on understanding the concept rather than memorizing facts. If you understand that if something is a standard object, you cannot delete it, but if it's a custom object, you can delete it. It's as simple as that. No matter how they twist the question, you will still answer it. Do you understand? So yes, understanding the concept rather than memorizing the facts will go a long way. And don't forget to review as often as possible. And that will go a long way.
Wow, I love that. That is just so insightful and informative. So now our final question. Is there any word of encouragement for our learners? And, is there any support system that we can tap into and stay informed?
Okay. My final word would be, or my word of encouragement would be, you are capable. You are enough. Exam is one step, just one step in your journey, and it doesn't define your worth, no matter what the outcome is, right? And always reach out to your support system, whether your friends, your family, online community like the Salesforce Trailblazer community. Surround yourself with positive energy at this period. It would help. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help whenever you need it. So this exam is one chapter in your story. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep thriving. All the best.
Thank you so much. That is just a perfect way to wrap this up. Thank you, Chinasa, once again for sharing this valuable insight. And for everyone listening, I know our exam is just in like 3 or 2 weeks. And you know, I know that we got this. Good luck to you on your exam, on your admin exam. And remember, keep learning, keep growing, keep leading. Until next time, take care and see you. Cheers.